guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So I just got back from a glorious vacation in Charleston, South Carolina, and it got me thinking about the products that I took with me on this vacation, the products that I take with me when I'm traveling in general. It really is a true test of what your ultimate favorite everyday products are. Like, these are the products you know are gonna work. Like, you ain't taking some new product that you have never tried before on vacation. You want your trusty, your loyal products to come with you because you know they're not gonna let you down. So I thought, why not do a video featuring my travel makeup bag, aka my everyday makeup staples. These are products that I would definitely always repurchase. They're products that I know are never gonna make me look bad. I know I can count on them to last throughout the day, especially in humid Charleston heat. And for my travel makeup bags, I actually just use Glossier pouches. These come free when you buy anything from Glossier, so why not? And it's also completely bubble wrapped, so I know if I'm taking this bag as a carry-on or I'm checking it, my products are gonna stay safe and nothing's gonna happen to them. It's also extremely handy because I have them divided up between tools and base products and then my complexion, cheek, and eye products. And by using bags like this, it's definitely helped me in my chance to pack lighter because your girl tends to be an overpacker. I will pack like I'm going away for a month and it's just a 3-day trip. But I used to just take this huge thing right here. This is from Ulta, and just fill it to the brim with makeup, and then I wouldn't use half of it. So this really goes to show what my true everyday staples are, and I thought, why not share them with you guys? You hear what my favorite new products are, why not hear about products that I know I can always rely on? These are products that are more loyal to me than any man ever will be, let's face it. So if you guys are excited to see what these products are, make sure you guys go ahead and give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe for future videos. Also hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload. I upload weekly, so make sure you have that bell clicked so you get a notification when I do post. And if you guys are excited to see what is in my travel makeup bag, then let's go ahead and dive right on in. So for the base bag, this is essentially like all of my tools and my base products, primers, foundations, concealers, all the above. It's in this one. So starting off, I have a couple tools that really are my staples. These are things that I keep in my vanity or I keep in my handbag. I always kind of have them on me because they're my go-tos. I always suggest, especially if you have oily skin, taking blotting papers with you anytime you go on vacation. I always think having these on hand, especially in my purse, are really great. If you have oily skin, I always recommend using a blotting sheet before touching it with powder so you don't really get any patchiness going on with your foundation throughout the day. I also have a compact mirror. This is just a random one from Anastasia Beverly Hills, but really any compact mirror because I don't like to rely on one of my products having a big mirror. It's just better just to go ahead and have one with me. And then my last two are a sharpener. This one is from NARS. This is the best makeup sharpener I have ever found. There's 2 sizes in it and it does not eat up any of my pencils. It's the best one I've ever found. And then a pair of eyelash curlers. These are just the Tweezerman. These are the rose gold one. I believe that they are for round eyes, which is what I definitely have, and my eyes definitely droop down. So this is a eyelash curler that's made for that type of eyes. And they also have another one that's a little bit wider if you have more elongated almond eyes. I also like to keep my fragrant of choice in this bag as well because this bag is the one that I'm gonna be reaching for the most to touch up throughout the day. So this is one that I always like to have on hand as well. And of course, my summer fragrance that I took with me on my last trip was from Replica. It is the Beach Walk Rollerball. You guys will know if you watch my summer survival kit, this is my favorite fragrance to reach for in the summertime, just because to me it's literally the essence of summer. It smells like a sunny beach and you can really smell the sunscreen kind of cutting through the top notes. So moving on to the makeup, you guys know that the Milk Blur Stick Primer is my absolute favorite primer in the entire world right now. It's also my favorite primer to take with me when I travel because of how it's designed. It's designed with portability in mind, so I can really just chuck it in any bag, whether it be my gym bag, my carry-on bag, whatever it may be. I can always take it with me and not have to worry about it leaking anywhere because it is a solid. One great thing I think about a lot of Milk's products, especially their skincare, since they're more in a solid form, You don't have to worry about getting anything anywhere. They're always gonna be ready to go with you. But yeah, this is really great. I'm not gonna go too much on it because you guys know how much I love this if you watch my channel. It's a really great primer if you're wanting to really blur out your pores and have that nice faux filter look to your skin. I also like to keep my eye primer in here, and you guys know if you have watched my in-depth foundation routine, I have a certain technique that I like to use with my eye primer when it comes to keeping my foundation on my nose and chin all throughout the day. I love using this one from Sigma. It is their recent eyeshadow base primer in the shade Persuade. It's very similar to Max Painterly Paint Pot, but I like the fact that it's in a stick form because it's just a lot more portable, and I think that's also a little bit more sanitary and not as bulky. So for foundation, it's ultimately going to be up to you. I have tried so many times to take just one foundation, and typically that will usually be the NARS Natural Radiant Foundation or the YSL All Hours, but then I run into the fact that I can't wear like a light base with that. I have to wear that medium to full coverage. There's no way to really sheer it out. So I've started recently taking two separate foundations, one of equal coverage. So I have the MAC Face and Body Foundation. This is a really lightweight foundation, but you can also build it up to a sheer to light coverage. It sits beautifully on the skin, and it lasts a long time on the skin as well too. If you have oily skin, you're not gonna have to worry about it sliding off your face by the end of the day. As long as you set it with a powder and use a primer, you should be good to go. But I also like the fact that I can layer it with my Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I love using both of these together because while I can use the Hourglass one and get a nice and beautiful, flawless full coverage, like trust me, this is like one of the most flawless foundations I have. I love how it looks. I can get a nice full coverage out of it, but when I mix them together, I get a beautiful medium dewy coverage, and it lasts throughout the day as well too. I'll use the Vanish foundation on my more oilier parts because I know that it will stay on a lot longer, and then where I don't need a lot of coverage is where I will take my MAC Face and Body. It looks like my skin just kind of perfected. So when it comes to concealer, it's the same thing with foundation. I like to take one that I know is going to be trustworthy, that I'm not going to have to sit around and fool around with, and I can use with multiple products. That's why I love taking the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer. This one is great to use with different types of foundations. I can wear it with my lightweight foundations, and I can also pair it with my more heavier full coverage foundations as well, and it looks beautiful. It gives a natural finish to underneath the eyes. It's not too matte, but it's not too dewy. I also think that it lasts for a really long time, and it doesn't crease throughout the day. So for powder, now this one, it may shock you because typically I know that I usually like to use powder foundations, and when I am trying my best to pack light, using a powder foundation throughout the day to touch up is not gonna be your best friend. Like, it is literally gonna just make your foundation look so cakey. I have tried multiple times to make it work, and it just does not work for me by the end of the day. I look like I have so much makeup on, and it just feels heavy because you have all that oil sitting underneath it. It's just terrible. So I prefer taking a more translucent blotting powder with me because I can use this to set underneath my eyes and to also set my face. I don't have to worry about taking two separate powders because we're trying to pack light here, people. We don't have time for that. We don't need to take in the Parmesan cheese powder with us, just no. So one of my tried and true favorites that I have stopped talking about recently on my channel, and I actually took me on my last trip and fell back in love with it, is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless powder. This is one of my original favorite powders because of how it made my skin look so freaking filtered and poreless. I loved it. I typically will not use this little powder puff it comes with because it's incredibly flimsy, but I'll take a small detailed brush and I will just use it to press the powder into my skin, and I'll also take a damp beauty blender and use it underneath my eyes to set my concealer. It gives a nice beautiful airbrush finish to the skin. It's very finely milled, it's not too thick, and it doesn't leave a haze on the skin either. This has always been like a gym bag staple for me. I will always keep this in my bag no matter what the occasion is. I always have it in my purse because I know it's trusty and I know that I can always rely on it. And the last two things that I have in this bag are my brow products. First off being the Anastasia Brow Definer. This is my favorite brow pencil, hands down, simply because I can get a nice bushy brow with it, or I can get a nice detailed look. Lately, I've been loving just doing this really natural looking brow, not too much product in it, and I've actually been taking a tinted brow gel first and then going in with my brow definer. And the brow gel I've been using is obviously the Hourglass Arch Brow Gel. This is my favorite brow gel. You guys know it's the tits. Like, it is so amazing. I cannot rave about it enough. It is extremely pricey for a brow gel. Like, I think it's $28, which is absolutely ridiculous. but I think it's worth every single penny. I'm almost out of mine, and I love the fact that they have a really nice natural auburn shade. It's not too dark, it's not too blonde, and it really does a great job at adding extra fibers to my brow hairs. I have very sparse brows in some areas, especially around the arch, and this does a great job at really setting them in place and keeping them in place. Like, I don't feel like they're gonna be falling down or going everywhere throughout the day. And then I can also go with a brow pencil afterwards, and it doesn't look chunky or like I took a crayon to my brows. Looks really natural, and I can use it with a brow pencil and without. I love both of these. They will always be a staple for me. So moving on to complexion and eyes and lips, just essentially everything else on the face. So starting off with the complexion products, one of my favorites, like my dear favorite product ever, oh my god, I'm obsessed with it, is the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow palette. This comes with a nice, beautiful mid-tone brown shade that I can use as a bronzer, so I can use it for a bronzer or a contour powder. And then the most beautiful natural looking highlight ever. It's not too glittery, it's very finely milled, it gives just a nice sheen to your cheekbones. But I also just mainly love the contour powder. I just think it looks so natural on fair skin. I'm absolutely obsessed with it, and the fact that you get two in here, it's really great for travel. I don't feel like I need to go on about it because every other beauty blogger talks about it as well. It's the tits. You need to check it out if you haven't yet. But because I'm extra, I always have to have a separate bronzer just to kind of warm up my face a little bit more, especially in the summertime when I'm wanting that more bronzy look. And my favorite lately that I took on my trip was the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Nude Bronze Light. Oh my god, you guys, this bronzer, not only is it beautiful in its design, it's beautiful on the skin as well. It's so light in its pigmentation that I really get a nice control over it. I know some people don't really like it when their powders are really light in pigmentation, but when it comes to a bronzer, I love that. Especially since I have extremely fair skin, I find that I can use a really lightweight brush with it to just build it up ever so gently, and I have more control over the product. But I also like how it has a soft sheen to it as well. It's not really chalky in its texture, but like I said, it's very finely milled. All of Hourglass's products are, and I also like that it's not too orange, but it's also not too taupe. It's very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury powder, but just a tad darker, so it makes for the perfect bronzer to always have. So for blush, I always like to take one that I feel like is very universal, one that I feel can work with a ton of other looks. Granted, when I'm on vacation, most of the time I'm super lazy with my eye looks. Like, I'm doing this most of the time. I would smudge a little bit of liner on the lash line. Like, I ain't doing much. But if I ever do decide to do a look, I want a blush that's gonna be very universal. It's gonna work with the different types of look. And my favorite neutral blush for that is the Too Faced Love Flush Blush in the shade Baby Love. I don't know if these are discontinued, and I'm gonna be heartbroken if they are. I think they're still on Too Faced's website, but I haven't seen them in stores at all. I love these blushes though. Honestly, the powders are so buttery, and they have a nice little sheen to them. They're not too glittery, but I also like the fact that they're very pigmented. I like a more pigmented blush, so I love the color payoff you get from these. I will say though, if you really want a shade of blush that's very similar to Baby Love, Tarte's Unstoppable is a very similar blush. It's just really matte and not as pigmented, so you're not gonna get that nice little sheen it has, and you have to really work to build up Tarte blushes, I will say that. So when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, I typically used to be the kind of person that would take 3 palettes with them, and they would all be very warm toned. Like, there was no difference between any of the shades. So I really wanted to look for a palette and narrow down one that I thought could do a ton of different looks and could also work with a ton of different eye colors. One that I have been loving to death has been the Persona Cosmetics Identity palette. I feel like you've heard a lot of people talk about this because it was designed by Sonia Gasparian. She's another YouTuber, and these are some of the most beautiful shadows I've ever used. The formulation behind these is absolutely stunning. The mattes are super buttery and they blend out like a dream. The shimmer shades, I don't even need Fix Plus with them. Like, you get intense foiled pigmentation with them, and the mattes are just as creamy. You can blend them out without skipping or anything being patchy. They're super buildable, and they have such a different array of colors in here. They do lean more neutral, but I find that I can get various different looks. I have a beautiful purple, green, red. You've seen me wear this green before on my Instagram. I absolutely love this palette. It's a staple for me because you can get, like I said, a night look, you can get a day look, something simple or something really glam. You're gonna find a perfect one for this. Palette was actually designed for people who have brown eyes, but I think it works great for people who have green eyes as well. The purples, the reds, and the green and golds work beautifully to really highlight, especially depending on the green tone in your eyes if you have green eyes. But for me, Gold Digger, Chic, and Audacious look absolutely stunning and beautiful. Also, the size of it is perfect. It's the size of the ColourPop palette, so it's really simple and easy for storage. I really want to do a get ready with me using this palette because there's so many different kind of looks I can get out of it. Let me know in the comments down below if you would love to see that from me. So for mascara, when I'm traveling, I like to have one that's waterproof. That way I don't have to worry about the humidity or my sweat or anything kind of making it go away throughout the day. And my favorite one, I'm so happy is in waterproof formula, is the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. You guys already know the original formula is the tits for me. I love it. It's one of my favorite mascaras, hands down. If you're wanting volume, length, definition, this is the one I would definitely recommend go for, and the fact that it's now waterproof makes it even better. I don't have a problem with this one being too clumpy or being too hard on my lashes like some waterproof mascaras are, aka the Better Than Sex mascara. I find that I can get really defined lashes and they're not gonna look too spidery, but I'm also gonna get a ton of volume out of them as well. So when it comes to lips, we all know that's where my obsession lies and that's where we have a problem and where I tend to overpack. And I'm still working on not packing as many lipsticks because let's face it, I'm not gonna wear half of these. I'm gonna find one and that's it. So for lip liners, I kind of usually will just bring one or two of them and they're both nudes, of course. My favorite one I always like to have on hand is the Bite Beauty 020 lip liner. This is a perfect mid-tone nude shade. It has a slight pinky tint to it, but it works with a variety of different lipsticks. It also is very similar to my natural lip color. So if I did just want to wear a regular lip balm, I can pair this with it to get a more structured liner on my lips, and that way it also doesn't feather. I also like having a slightly darker one. This is Whirl by MAC. It's an ever so popular color. It's a little bit more cooler toned and a little bit darker, just in case if I want to wear this by itself with a gloss on top, I can get a more vampy look out of it for night. But during the daytime, I pretty much stick to very classic colors. I have 3 nudes and 1 pop of color. So my favorite lipstick to kind of just pop on every single day is the Glossier Generation G lipstick in the shade Cake. This is a perfect sheer toned matte lipstick. It's very, very sheer in its color. It's not pigmented hardly at all, and that's what I like about it because it gives you that my lips but better look. I also like the fact that it's a matte finish instead of a creamy finish, so it's gonna stay on all day, but I can top it off with a lip gloss if I want to give a nice little shine to my lips. And the lip gloss that I love taking with me everywhere I go is the Fenty Gloss Bomb. This is a tried and true staple of mine. It's one of my favorite glosses, and you guys know I'm not a lip gloss person, but this is a lip gloss that got me into glosses. It's just really beautiful. It makes your lips look super juicy, and I love the smell of it. It's a really flattering tone that works with a lot of different skin tones. But if I'm wanting more of a classic fuller nude lip, I recently have been taking the Hourglass. This is the Girl Stylo lip pencil in the shade Influencer. I love the fact that it's in a pencil crayon form because it's super easy to just chuck in my bag and kind of touch up throughout the day. I don't feel like I need to be too precise with it, and I also don't feel like I need a lip liner with it. I also love this shade. It's a beautiful mid-tone rosy nude. It's a beautiful nude that can go with many different looks, and I feel like it really suits my skin tone. And then I also like having a pop of color, even though I rarely ever wear pops of colors on my lips. My favorite one is hands down the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Red Square. It's a classic red orange. Right now for summertime on vacations, this is my favorite lip color to reach for. Just look at that. It screams fire hydrant red to me. It absolutely looks stunning on the lips, and I love the Velvet Matte Lipstick formula. The fact that it's in a crayon as well, again, I don't feel like I need a lip liner with it. It's really easy to touch up on the go, and I love how this is not too matte on my lips. It doesn't make my lips feel like a liquid lipstick would, like how it starts cracking. It truly is very velvety on the lips, but you don't get any shine either. It's super thin and lightweight in its consistency, so I don't feel like it's going to transfer and get all glunky all on my lips. It looks really beautiful as you kind of eat and talk throughout the day. It gently fades away and leaves a nice subtle stain to the lips. So that is everything that's in my travel makeup bag. all my everyday makeup staples I have been using a ton of lately. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys use any of these products all the time? What do you guys usually take with you when you're going on vacation? I would love to know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, make sure you guys go ahead and give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe for future videos. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you are notified when I do upload. I upload weekly, sometimes 1 or twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. So I hope you guys do stay tuned for future videos. Let me know what you guys want to see from me in the future. I would love to get your feedback. And that about does it for me today, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. And I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.